Hey guys, it's Winnie's Escapes Wednesdays, and today we're going to be talking about my experience when I went to Atlanta over the weekend. So before we get started, I'm going to bring in my beautiful co-host, T Quest. Hey girl, come on in here.
Hi. I sound like one of those cricket commercials. Hi. Okay,
I was calling about you in here quick today because I want to get into my experience of flying out of JFK to the ATL over the weekend because I did a conference out in Atlanta. And I just want to let them people know what's going on, how it went down, get them all up in this my business, and let them know, what to experience if they decide to travel themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So let me give you the scoop. I left out Thursday morning, and I'm going to tell everybody when you do travel, definitely with everything that's going on, try to get the earlier flights. Why? Because there's less people in the airport.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one thing. But one thing I could say that I flew Delta, so I'm gonna give you guys detail. Even though they ain't sponsoring me for nothing, I really like Delta. That's my favorite airline because I feel like they have the most. Like last week, you get what you paid for. They might cost a little bit more, but their customer service I think is excellent. Their cleanliness was really good. So let me tell you how it started. I'm gonna actually put some clips on. I'm gonna have somebody edit them so I can have like a little video because I was taking video as I was out there, but I didn't have that ready because I literally just got back yesterday, and I'll tell you about that because I had to come back to some interesting situations.
Mm-hmm.
So I left out when I leave Friday morning. I said Thursday. My apologies. I left out Friday morning. I had an early flight. Went to JFK. It was good. I had to go through. I want to tell you guys, make sure you have the apps, whatever airline you're flying, because therefore you don't have to go get the paper. You don't have to touch anybody. Everything's on your phone, and they scan your phone. They did have.
That freaks me out sometimes.
I know, but what that's going on is the best bet because all you have to do is hit my phone. Beep.
No, not that. I'm talking about the fact that before, a few years ago, when I had to fly somewhere and my phone kept going on. What my phone? I'm like, how my phone even know I'm at the airport? How does my phone even know what I'm doing? How does my phone know my delay? It's because once you do the how booking is attached to your email, and your email is your Google, and your Google gives you alerts.
Yeah,
but it was just freaking me out. I'm like, how does it know all this? But that was beforehand, before the whole technology thingy thing, you know. But it was hilarious to me.
So I suggest doing that because it keeps you to be hands free. You don't have to really be around people when you first get in there. All you have to do is go straight to the security check. If you're not going to check in a bag, or you go straight to the security check, you have your phone, your ID. Of course, we had our mask on. So you have your mask on. I have my mask.
Where's your mask?
Guys. I just got some new masks done.
Okay.
I should have had this prepared.
It is all good.
Because now I got to get my butt up. Quest, keep them entertained while I go.
I will not entertain these people. No, I'm just.
The attitude, their number one entertainer.
JK. I am. But as she go get her mask, it's so crazy how life has changed. Now wearing a mask is a part of our everyday norm.
Yes.
I don't like it, but go ahead.
So I said I will. To promote your own self, you escape.
Okay.
And then I wore this one when I changed my outfit.
That was super cute because I love the color pink.
Yeah. I rocked both of them when I was out there, and I also rocked my other joint that I got. This was really cool. So depending on what I had on,
Did you get any compliments on them?
Some people was like, "Oh, where did you get your mask from?" I was like, "Oh, where is this?" And I was letting them know. They said, "Oh, that's cool." Because actually, the funny part about it, the first person who recognized it was the flight attendant. Because I had on white and had colorful stuff on, like a white hoodie, like crop top with like had colors on it. And I had a matching to go with it. So my colors went together. And he was like, "Oh, aren't you fashionable? Matching from mask to toe because my mask." I said, "Okay, what I did." So it was fun. But back to the main thing. So we went. I only had to show them, like, scan my phone, and I went straight through the security check. Then when I went to the seating area, one thing they did have is every other seat you can occupy, and they had like a sticker with a thing saying you can't sit here. So nobody was sitting right next to each other, unless they were family. They were able to sit next to each other. But they were like sitting opposite seats.
Mm-hmm.
Also with the airlines, once you get on the airline, Delta, they gave you Corral, your own personal pack. Can't sit
I heard ginger ale. I'm like, great.
Yeah. They can wipe that's in their own personal Purell wipe thing, so you can wipe your hands and wipe off your seat if you choose to, even though they already cleaned the planes.
Yeah.
And then they gave you a little Ziploc bag that had a personal sized water in it. Mm-hmm. It had cheese nits. It had like these flip peanuts. And it had another, I actually kept it because I have more than one of mine, another little Purell thing that you could put on your hands. You see this? A single dose for people. So this was also in there. So, and then they made sure that if you're in how their planes are set up, you had the nobody could sit in the middle seat, and if you had a window seat, because some of them are bigger than others, only two seaters, only one person can sit in the two seaters, and then the three seaters, only the 2 hours were available.
Yeah,
so you can sit on top of each other, which was great because everything going on, that means less people are in the airplane with you.
Mm-hmm.
Also important in my eyes.
It sounds like something that Uber drivers and Lyft should have as little care packages for their.
Oh, one thing I did take an Uber for the first time. I got my own Uber, and when I got into the gentleman's car, he had an award thing between the seats, Purell, so you can Purell your hands. So I was like, okay, I thought that was cool that they all had masks on, but you felt good. I'll go to my hotel experience, which I found out. I stayed at the Renaissance Midtown Atlanta. I paid a little bit more to stay at this property, but I'm glad I did because how much they took care of cleanliness. Yes, they had the barriers so that people couldn't talk directly in front of them, to keep their safe. They also let me know that, because I asked, once you I overheard, and then I got into somebody's details. I heard they were talking to somebody else, and when I came up, I just wanted to clarify what they were saying. So how it works is once you check in your room, no one comes to your room. Like nobody's gonna make your bed, nothing. Once you're in there, that's it. The cool thing until you leave, but they don't come as soon as you leave. So when I walked into my room, which is going to be a video because I did take a little video of this, my room. Of course, it was clean, but on my bed was a sealed bag that you can tell no one opened it with toiletries and your towels. Everything was like they already put saran wrapped it so they know nobody was in there. They cleaned it and they wrapped it up like that. Also, the remote control, same thing. You had to pull it open to get your remote control because they sanitized everything.
They on it.
They were on it. The bathroom tissue was a new roll of bathroom tissue. It wasn't like some old. They had everything brand new. And what I found out,
isn't the bathroom tissue usually new?
Yeah, but not. So sometimes you go in there, it could be already like somebody opened it
already on the thing, even though it's new. They already put the first roll on for you.
Yeah, the first roll was on, but you had to open it, so you had to tear the outside. It wasn't just already like okay, how do you have like it's all cute and stuff. They didn't have that. Also, if you wanted certain things, you had to ask them. If you wanted something for the ice, you had to ask. They didn't have these things just in your room. If you wanted tea and coffee, you had to ask them. They didn't just have stuff out so people can touch everything. And when you walked into the hotel, they had a little mini fridge where they had single bottles of water just in case anybody wanted water. That was really cool. But I found out when it comes down to the rooms, so once you come in, when you check in, no one comes to you. Nobody's going to knock, hey, room service. No. Once you check out, they wait up to 72 hours before they go into your room.
Wow.
They don't go in your room for 72 hours. And then they clean your whole sanitized room, clean everything. And then they don't let anybody in that room until another 24 hours. So they make sure because they want to make sure that their staff they don't have as much staff as normal. One, they want to make sure their staff is safe. And two, they want to make sure you're safe and you can't say I stayed at your property and this happened. When I was telling somebody about this who recently traveled, they was like, wow, that when I went to another state and stayed at the hotel, she said they gave me the stuff to clean my room. I was like, what? I was like, mm-mm. So I was like, I'm glad I spent the little bit extra money because I felt comfortable in the room that I was in. Like everything was sanitized, it was clean. And then when the only reason I heard all these things and started asking questions, a young man wanted to check. He didn't want to check out, but he wanted to leave. He was leaving, and I'm not going to be back on Sunday. Somebody go clean my room. And then they're like, no, don't do that. And she was break down. And he left. I asked some more questions. I said, hi, I'm a travel agent. Here, can you give me your policy on how you're doing things? And then they clarified it.
Yeah.
And also, we was in a training there at the same property. We had to wear a mask the whole time. You cannot walk around in the hotel without a mask on. Of course, you can take it off in your room. And when they had the conference, they had all the tables separated. I was at a table by myself. Everybody had a mask on the whole time. I did feel really comfortable. But in the streets, it was dead from normal. But most people had masks on. Some people didn't because I guess they were doing a regular walk and stuff like that. But for the most part, most people did have masks on. And then coming back in Atlanta, it was like a culture shock in a minute from coming from New York.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Atlanta is one of the biggest airports, and that airport was packed. I was like, and I was timing it, so I couldn't I already checked in. I always pre-check my before I come in because I have the app. So I'm like, go check me in, and I should be at my hotel or I checked in the day before. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna make it through security. I have a video of that too. I am gonna have it together so you guys can see it. That line was nuts. It was like all the way wrapped around. It looked like a maze. They did have these glasses, but they start opening up different parts so people could continue to move. On the ground, they did have where you can stop 60, 60, 60. But it was so many people because nobody was right on top of each other that the line was all the way down the freaking airport. It was crazy because they had so socially distanced so much. It was nuts. But then it moved though. I was shocked how quickly we moved through security checks during all the people. And I even had that on video. Like, look at this. This is nuts compared to my experience in New York. So you have to keep that in mind when you are traveling. Where airport you're going? Is it a big airport? Just make sure you stay safe. But they did do their due diligence. Same thing when it came to the separating of the seats, the barriers. You had all these barriers blocking you. So if you're in a zigzag, you know how it normally is, they had barriers between them. So if we did have to stop, nobody was still right there next to you. It had the plastic blocking you, which was good. But it was like a maze. But when you did get there, throughout the airports, both airports, there were stations that had hand sanitizer wipes. You could wipe stuff down, but your hands all throughout the airport. That was really nice. They still had the separated seats. That was the same thing when you got back on the plane and you got your same little. This time they actually walked down and passed it to people, but everybody had their own mask, and everybody had who worked for them had their mask on, gloves. Nobody was touching you directly. And if there were open seats or something and somebody wanted to move to I was on I had a 2-seater. So I was by I was by the window. It was just me. But I did feel comfortable, and I do understand the importance of being safe when you are traveling, and I did appreciate that experience through Delta. I only could speak on them because I flew out there and came through them. Even to let people know, they are allowing people to bring, snacks and food with them on through the airport. Remember, before you couldn't do that. They're not letting you bring water. You got to buy water there because most of the restaurants, most of the shops are closed. You can't get food. You can't shop around. They have 1 or 2 open, so you could buy a water. Dunkin' Donuts are open in JFK. They're open in the Atlanta Airlines because Atlanta is a huge, airport. But for the most part, I was very pleased and pleasantly surprised because you hear about things. I was like, let me get out of here. Let me see what's going on from my experience. And I don't know what it would be if I would have chose a cheaper airline or a cheaper hotel.
Yeah.
But I was happy with the experience that I did have. And I was happy that I did spend the extra money because I'm like, if I'm going to be out here, I want to be as safe as possible. I don't want to come back home and I'm sick or feeling type of way, and I have a family, so I was using that in concern. Even when it came down to the restaurants, a lot of restaurants did have, you could call ahead and take out.
Yeah.
If you did sit in there, they were 6 feet apart. When I did go eat and stuff like that, I usually walk to the restaurants. And everybody was pretty much on their P's and Q's. People respect your distances. Nobody was right on top of you. Even servers and stuff, they all had masks on. So you did feel comfortable, which I appreciated with the places that I did decide to go dine because the restaurant and the hotel wasn't operating, so I had to fend for myself. And since, like I said, I took Uber, I didn't have a rental car. So, but it was good. It was a great experience to be out there during what's going on now. I felt very comfortable, but I wasn't sure if I was going to because I hear some from other travel agents, from other people who travel and their experiences. But from my personal experience that I just did, it was a good one.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's of course you have to take caution when you're doing different things, especially with the traveling. Yes, certain places are open, certain places are available, certain things is semi back to normal, but it's not normal. So you have to be very cautious with everything that you're doing. But at the same time, since this is your field, since this is your business, it's kind of like when you visit different properties and you give your own personal reviews and experiences to your clients. I think it's a great thing that you actually travel during this pandemic. So when they ask you certain things like, well, I was just out and this is what happened when I went to the airport. So most likely this may happen with you. According to what I experienced, what people have told me when it comes to the hotels, this, that, and the third may happen and you may have to blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
It's going to be easier to maneuver because things are not the same. You have to maneuver differently and you want to make sure they are aware and they are prepared for what's in store. But like you said, every city, state, airport, hotel is all going to be a different experience. But what I would like for you to touch on is people being mindful of what states are open and locked down, the ones you may have to quarantine in, because you have to do your research when traveling.
That is true. It's multiple states that you do have to do self-quarantine. Even Georgia, I have a self-quarantine.
How do they know you did it?
They don't. They really don't. Like, I didn't have to self-quarantine because of, this is what happened too. When I was at the airport leaving Atlanta to come back into New York, I had to fill out a questionnaire online for the New York Health Department to answer certain questions. And then it said to me, you don't have to self-quarantine.
Maybe someone who had to, it's a different procedure, but you wouldn't know because you didn't have to.
Yeah, because I didn't have to. But they are, when they say that you have to self-quarantine, I do know that most states are asking you to fill out a form signing that you will self-quarantine. And if you don't, they are now passing new laws where people can go to jail. There was a couple in New Jersey who got on house arrest. They're fined. If you do not sign that you're going to self-quarantine when you're out there traveling.
Yeah,
I would have signed it because 9 or 10, I'm here anyway, so I'm already quarantined. I just really had to go out to Atlanta for a conference, and I'm going to tell you what the conference is about real quick while I'm thinking about it. It's for to be certified in family cruising. And you guys already know I'm certified in family travel in general, but I went to go get my certification in family cruising. So I just want to let you guys know your girl Whitney from Whitney Escape is now certified for family cruising. So any family, thank you. They just popped up on my screen to say my it was good, very informative and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, I do this for you guys, not just for myself. I take the time and do all these things so that I can be well informed for your safety. So if you're going to go on vacation, you have somebody who you can lean on and trust. Like, oh, she put her stuff out there. She knows some stuff that's going on. You need an app quest? She knows some stuff that's going on. And she can help you. But it was a very interesting experience. And let me tell you some other things too. So while I was in Atlanta, everybody was not being safe.
Yeah.
Why? Because when I was driving around to find dinner, I met up with a family member who lived out there. And she chauffeured me around. We was going to figure out where we were going to have dinner. She said, I'll take you to dinner. And I was looking at restaurants. Some of these restaurants were packed. Like, packed. People outside lined up. I was like, I ain't in there. Like, me neither. Some people didn't have masks on. Some people had celebrations. It was just like, really, guys?
Yeah.
one of your state is like, one of the states that they say have high numbers, I don't mind, people, go eat, do what you gotta do, but be cautious of other people. They were like on top of each other, and I was like, keep on driving, we ain't eating this, find somewhere else to eat. Some places did have where you had to, the opposite, where you had to call up and make reservations to come eat there. Because they were at a certain capacity, and if all their spots was filled, they're like, sorry, you can't come today, you can come tomorrow, maybe you can place the order out, being responsible. And some places just wanted their coin, and people were definitely giving it to them. Because like I ate at even like the old lady gang, I saw people there. They were not so crazy. I went to Juicy Crab, which was really good, guys. And you know me, I love crab. I'm sorry, because I know you can eat that type of stuff, but your sister can. And I love crab, and that was good. But they even like were taking people's temperatures, like they know saying if you had a high temperature, they was not like doing their establishment. Wow. Where you came in, the staff was meeting right there. They were not having their place overcrowded, and I respected that.
Absolutely.
You feel like, okay, I could come eat here. Because if you're doing all this for me, you're doing it for everybody else as well. So some establishments were doing that. And the ones that weren't, like one of the places that I wanted to eat at, I'm not going to say the names, but I don't want to talk negative about a company live. But I was recommended there because they have really good food. And I called them and they was like, oh, I said, what's your policy? With social distancing, or is it just, takeout only? And he said, no, everybody's here is clean. Everybody here is clean. We don't have the COVID. I was like, okay, but what's your policy? But that's what they told me. So let me go. And that's one of the places that I went to drive by that had a line out the door where people were on top of each other. I was just like, this is what you call everybody clean? Probably your staff or all these people who just standing here. And I didn't eat there. And I was like, I'm not eating here. Because I don't want to get sick. With even a stomach ache or a headache, I don't like being sick. I don't like being altered, period. So when a lot of people are there and definitely on top of each other, no matter, even if the COVID didn't happen, you're more septic to getting something. So, use wisdom in everything that we do. I had gloves on because I didn't want to touch anything. So I always took stuff off. Just being cautious because at the end of the day, I don't want to get anybody sick, and I definitely don't want anybody getting me sick.
I know that's right.
So it's just important to be cautious out there, and it's also important to have someone who specializes in the field. For instance, your girl Whitney from Whitney's Escapes. This is what I do. I travel. I get 1 million emails a day and updates about different countries, different towns, and it changes all the time. They can be open today and closed tomorrow. It's just what it is. Depending on case to case, countries are opening up left and right. Countries are closing. Not really closing. They're just closing for the people from the United States. They're letting other countries come into their property, but they're not letting us because our race keeps on going on up. But I understand it because when I go out there, people are out there like this is not going on. But if you watch the news when this happened, most of these islands they shut down. Like they were not outside, they were not doing anything. People were really quarantined, and that's why they didn't have so many deaths. And that's why I believe, because I'm not God, I don't know exact. But if you look at the difference, they were really on lockdown. Like nobody was going anywhere. And they had really small numbers. And then, when Americans been in a country for 2 weeks and the numbers spike, of course, I'm shutting the borders down too.
Get them out of here.
Yeah, I'm fortunate because some of those places, we want to attend. And even when they talk about like the cruise lines, it's not that they can't cruise. CLIA volunteered to say, no, we're not going to cruise. Because one, where are they going if everybody closed them down? And two, they want to make sure people feel comfortable and safe. And everybody said, oh, I'm not getting on the cruise. But if you really want to know the facts, not one person died on the cruise. Did people get sick? Yes. But no one died. And I tell people, don't just read everything people want to post out there. Some of that stuff, most of it ain't true. I even had a client, my throat, sorry. I had a client who saw an ad and she really wanted to go. So she called him just to see if it was real. And as soon as she said she was going to talk to her travel agent, they hung up in her face.
Why?
Because scammers use real company stuff and get into their information. Like you can tie into a cruise line or resort, and then when you start asking too much questions, they're going to hang up because they go, nope. Most companies, even if you call them so you can talk to your house, it's okay. Just, referring to me, blah, 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 blah. They ain't hanging up in your face. And that's what I tell people. You don't believe everything. Oh, I was trying to remember, just because you saw something for $25, don't mean you're going to get it. You get somebody your number and then you won't go give you your money and you're not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
Everything is not always legit or as good at it as it seems. Because I told most people at the end of the day, I get paid from whatever company I send you to.
You know? Not from you.
No. Well, yeah, from you too. I have to start charging a consulting fee because I am worth what I charged. And I'm going to start charging because even with this COVID going on now, change topic, I lost a lot of money in this field. But every one of my clients who had to cancel got all their money back. Not one of my clients can say that they did not get 100% refund cash, even if they didn't have travel protection. I fought like AG Double Hockey Skills. I want this a family friendly show for them, and they appreciate that. And at the end of the day, I didn't get paid for any of those things, but I got paid when they had testimonials, where they know my ethics. Like, oh, she's still gonna fight for me. I'm like, don't worry, I will handle this. Don't worry, I'm gonna handle this for you, because that's what it's all about. I want you to have a great experience from the beginning to the end.
Yeah,
it starts with me and it ends with me, and I don't care what you pay. But at the end of the day, we still have to understand this is a business. You're paying for my knowledge, my expertise, your safety. You know, guarantee if something happens, we're going to be on it. I never had anything happen to anybody, but if that did happen, they know I have their back. You know, if something has to get canceled, like with this COVID, so many people have hit me up who are not my clients, wanting me to fix their problems. Like I'm like, oh, I went through, I went through booking.com, I went to all these places and they're not blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I didn't book with you. I can try to guide you, but you're not my client. You know? And they expect me to do, because other people say, oh, my travel agent handled that for me. I got all my money back. And then like people hit me up about it, but I'm like, I didn't book those things. I'm not with those people. I could try to help guide you and refer you to me next time, so you won't have these problems. But in this industry and anything that you're doing, definitely when you're spending money, it's best to go to a professional.
Absolutely.
And have a great experience. You can go online and try to book anything, but you don't unline this stuff and try to cancel if you want to rebook. Most people don't read all the fine print. It's my job to know the fine print. And if I hear you wrong, it's my job to fix it. So you always know that you have somebody on your team who has your back.
I got your back.
Got your system. I'm just gonna put a hashtag. You look really cute, girl. I'm feeling it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm inspired right now.
But the moral of the story is, guys, if you're going to travel, please contact Whitney's Escapes. 1.
Thanks.
2, be cautious when you're out there. Your life is precious. And I tell people wearing a mask and stuff is mostly to protect you from other people. Just do it. Do we hate it? Absolutely. Do I look cute in them because I got my professionally done? Yes. But do I like it? Absolutely not. That's one reason why I don't really go places, because I don't want to be out there with a mask on. Even at this training, I stayed at the same property. I didn't want to be walking around everywhere mask on like I'm suffocating. It's messing with my sinuses, all those things. But we just have to be, careful, but still live our lives.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be the last time I travel. I actually travel again next month. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Because I was waiting for you to do that. And I still take precaution. I'm like, okay, I don't really want layovers. Like I research things, look at the property, what are the procedures? Every property, every country has procedures. You can Google it. Like, what are their rules? What are their regulations? There's things you have to, some places before you go there want you to have a COVID test. Some states want you to quarantine once you get there. Some countries want you to fill out an affidavit saying, this, this, and this, and this. So everybody have something different. If you choose not to go through me, please do your research and look up where you're going and know the rules and regulations. Driving, flying, train, wherever you be. Every state, every country has different rules. None of them are the same. Even the state of Connecticut. I flew into New York, but I still live in the state of Connecticut, so I had to follow those procedures. To be
Absolutely.
I couldn't just go out like a willy-nilly. I had an incident that happened while I was gone with one of my children, and I couldn't take him to the doctor because I just got back from Atlanta. So my husband had to. And I respect that, I was just happy that I had somebody to take my child. And, that happens. And I had to respect that, I did go out the country and I'm back and I just have to respect what people wish. I can't get mad when people are thinking about themselves and others when it comes down to your health.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you're back and I'm glad you had a great experience.
Thank you, Boo.
And I'm glad that you have this information. So like I said, for more clients that hit you up, you already know exactly what to tell them from your own personal experiences.
Thank you. Thanks for being a listening ear.
I'm always here for you.
And on that note, guys, we like to keep it short and sweet. But today, I just want to put out there, please follow me on all your social media platforms at Whitney's Escapes. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Whitney's Escapes LLC. And also check out my new website, www.whitneysescapes.com, and subscribe to my email address. We have so many good things coming up here. You don't want to miss it. And right now, I even have trips to 2022. This is a time to lock in these great adventures because at the end of the day, we ain't going to be on lockdown forever. We need to still get out there. I'm going to still be out there. And I'll let you guys know every single time I experience something good, bad, or in between. I'm an honest person. I'm going to keep it real with you. So please follow me on all platforms. And I appreciate you taking time out your busy day to come check me out on this evening.
Absolutely. Wow. You know, you can follow me on all social media platforms at TQuestGLM. Yes. No, seriously, hit me up on all social media platforms at TQuestGLM and download that TQuest mobile app in your Google Play Store and your App Store, whatever you need me for. Any of my services as a blogger, a journalist, a radio personality, a PR person, or even a therapist. If you just need someone to listen to whatever you're going through, I'm here for you guys. Just contact me and we can make something happen. Once again, I appreciate you, Whitney, having me on your platform. And Whitney's Escapes Wednesday.
See you guys next Wednesday.
Bye. Do the sound.
I don't know how to do this.
It's a plane.
What I could do. Bye.
Okay, bye.